Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Stellaris, shall we? So, we're in the year 2208, and we are working on colonizing Sirius Prime. I'm going to just push M, jump out to the galaxy map. And we also have now a fantastic Alpha Centauri Prime that we are working on. And if I go to the shipyard, you can see in the shipyard queue why there's another colony ship getting ready to go. So one thing I want to say before we kind of get into it is if we look at our planet Earth, we have 2 jobs available. We're building nothing. So we should build something to produce some more jobs. Amenities are at 6, which is reasonable, but are slowly winding down. We have commercial zones, we have civilian industries. We might want to build a holo theater, for example. So if we go down here and build a holo theater, it'll give us plus 20 amenities by using some Unity, which is a lot of Unity considering how much we gain, but it's a ton of amenities, and it will keep people happy here and working well, so that as we grow, because every time you are putting more pops on, the strain on amenities will decrease. So we certainly want to make sure that this is kept in check. Now there's another way, of course, to do this, which is we could build just a city district, and the nice thing about the city district is it gives you trade value as well, but it only gives you 3 amenities, which is not necessarily a ton. However, it will open up a building slot down here, which is very tempting. It would be our final available city district. We could also go into features and clear off a blocker. And that's actually not a bad idea. Just create a pop, clear off a blocker. But we want to make sure we have enough jobs and amenities before we do that. So I'm actually going to build a city district. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about is one of the reasons that you don't just always upgrade your planet is because, as a consequence of every district and building that you create, you are adding on to your empire size. And so if you mouse over the empire size here, it says our total empire size is 62, and every district, you can see from 14 districts we get 7. So it's like every district gives about a half point of empire size. The systems each give 1. Every colony gives 10, and the population itself gives some. Now we have Beacon of Liberty, which reduces that, but we also have to think about this, because once we get our empire size above 100, then it starts impacting the cost of several different things, and it's harder to manage our empire. So it's there to, the empire size is kind of there to keep you in check from just going all out and upgrading everything. You really want to upgrade things intentionally, like you need it. And right now we are at a point when we need jobs. We are going to need amenities. So I will build this to clear up the final building slot and allow us to free some blockers later and grow with some good amenities. If we need to build a holo theater to balance amenities better, we will. But for now, we've got the city district there, we're cooking, and that's fine. I'm not concerned about our empire size because we're not above 100, and we're not even close right now. We have a pretty small empire. But it is something to just pay attention to, because we're going to get another colony, which is going to add to that, and it's going to go up really quickly. Alright, I've unpaused the game, and we have found an anomaly here, which is actually a pretty easy one, but we'll leave it. And on solar sails, we have found the wreckage of an archaic spaceship of unusual design. Instead of using propulsion similar to that of modern ships, the craft relied on large sails unfurled in the vacuum of space. Presumably, the ship harvested solar energy and drifted on the solar winds created by starlight. So what this does is create a archaeological site right here, or we find an archaeological site that we can go ahead and investigate. Now I'll pause the game. So archaeological sites have these shovel hexagons to indicate where they are, and they are something our science vessels can pursue. Now remember, we did build that 4th science ship right here, and this one is going to investigate this easy anomaly right here. Now if we go into the situation log, you can see right here there is the message in a bottle area, and it has days until roll. So this might be something where we want to begin investigating this right away to get more information on that. But I don't want to take the Hubble off of the anomaly that they're working on. Actually, they're just moving there. So maybe we should do this. Excavate the site. Let's just switch them up. They just got there, and they were at 0% progress on the anomaly, so we'll go back to it later. Okay, great. So what have we just finished? We finished the mining station there in Alpha Centauri. We clear off some of these indicators. That's fine. Okay. All right, and man, our starting spot is so interesting that we have, an option to even put this as our external choke point. And let's see, this is our ship here if we wanted, or this. It's so good. I want to see what this is before I put anything here. Alright, here's one science ship exploring here. We've got the other one on the archaeological site. We're looking at this system there. Great. Let's go ahead. We're at normal speed. I'll go faster. I'm going to just push the plus button to speed us up.
System survey complete.
Good. System survey complete. So this ship I'm manually controlling. I'm going to come over here and survey the system. It's going to take a while. If one of these ships finishes earlier, I will change this to something else because this ship will take a while to get to where we're going.
Anomaly found.
Okay, actually, I'm going to pause it because you could see right here the Netum... Oh no, they're not done yet. They just finished one piece within the system, but they're not totally done.
System survey complete.
Okay, no, now they are done. All right, so now it's time to change it up. So we're going to survey this system. Now, remember what I said? It takes so long for the ships to get here. So this ship, it's, 1, 2, 3, 4 systems away. It's too far. So we're going to change up, and I'm actually going to just go ahead and go to Alpha Centauri and investigate this anomaly with the Lagrange, because it's an easy one. Alright, we're working on the archaeological site.
Colony established.
Wonderful. Okay, so now we finished the colony on Sirius Prime. I'm going to pause the game and say okay. And I'm just going to check the progress on the Hubble. You could see the Hubble is doing the archaeological site. You could see its bar right here. Sol Station is almost done with the colony ship there. And then now if I push 1 to go to planet Earth, our capital, from here you could see in the government portion of the outliner in the planets section, we have Sirius Prime now located below Earth, and I can push tab from this screen to switch between our different planets. And Sirius Prime has no leader right now, which is actually okay, it's fine. And we have to think about what do we want to do here. So let's take a look. There's not many houses, there's only one job, and all we have is this reassembled ship shelter. You recall when we looked at this place, look at the distribution of city. and imperial, or industrial rather, I'm going to go ahead and quickly build a city district just to unlock another building slot, give more housing, jobs, provide jobs, amenities, all that stuff. But I may switch this colony soon to something else. So currently it's a colony which gives a plus to stability, amenities, and happiness, which is really, really nice. But as we build it up, we're probably going to want to switch this to be, it could be an urban world because of the amount of city districts, but I think what we want are alloys. And so, you know, we could think about making this a industrial world, which gives you industrial district build speed plus 25%, artisan and metallurgist upkeep minus 10%. So this hires artisans and metallurgists, and it just makes them cheaper. So we just build a million of these things and roll it in, specializing this planet. And you really do want to specialize your planets when it makes sense, and it generally makes sense to do that. It's pretty easy to see what the planet is good at based on the availability of districts and any other buffs or things that are going on here. All right. Okay, now you see up in the, I'm going to pause it, Dolores got the Eye for Talent 2 trait, and that was going to dismiss, but when your leaders level up, they get new traits, and if you want to see those, you can come over here into the leaders panel, and then just check out your leaders, and it says Dolores got it, so you can kind of look at Dolores, and she already had Eye for Talent, but it leveled up, and this just means it's even stronger, which says when she's a counselor, which she is, everybody gets 10%. The leaders gain 10%. That's really good. So that little window sometimes goes really quickly, but you can always look at your leaders and just mouse over the traits. The traits are kind of under their name in these circles of different colors. There's good ones, there's bad ones, and you can see what your leaders are good at in what role. So like sometimes it's good if they're manning, you know, if they're in a fleet of corvettes, or if they're on a science ship, or if they're installed as a governor or as a counselor. Okay, we've got an election coming up. So there's elections that happen every 10 years. This is a democratic society. And what we're going to do is, I'm not going to mess with this. So you can see, though, on this screen, on election day, the candidate with the most support is elected president. And over here, you can see how much support they have. It's actually a very close race. Like, Dolores has an edge over Salma, but there's a bit of randomness to who wins. If you wanted to, like, you could click on Dolores and spend 250 unity to increase the support, to, like, push Dolores ahead further, to try to guarantee that she becomes elected. But I don't really meddle too often unless there's just somebody who's amazing. You know, this is a good Empire effect. And if she's elected, for example, well, then she gives research speed for field manipulation and propulsion. So, you know, that's not bad either. I'm okay. I'm not going to spend my Unity right now on that. Unity is really, really important for traditions. I'm just going to save it up. Looks like we have a few things going on here. So we found this anomaly here. Where is it again? In the 2 system. Okay, no, don't worry about that. Leave it be. I just want this scanned. I want to see how good this area is. And let's see, how are we doing? Okay, we have enough influence to gain another system. And I currently, this is not really habitable for us. I want to move out here immediately to try to get either this or this. So I'm going to tell my construction ship that's just right here to go over here and quickly build a starbase right there. And then this says Proxima Centauri B. For as long as we humans have been able to look to the stars for new homes, Proxima Centauri B has been a naive dream, a place we would look to with optimism. A new home. Sadly, as our telescopes got better, we realized that the planet would probably be a tidally locked, frozen hellscape, a theory which we've confirmed today. There is hope, however. This world has all the building blocks necessary for a habitable planet. It might just need a slight push. So you can do either of these things right here. You could say thank you for inspiring us, and you could say another exoplanet. Now, honestly, these are the same effect, but what it tells you is, first of all, we get 245 unity just for checking this out and having this kind of like cultural moment. But you can also potentially terraform this once you've researched the societal research option climate restoration. We could maybe change this planet to be habitable. So we're going to say thank you for inspiring us. We get a huge surge of unity, which you see, which allows us to get a new tradition. Great. This final tradition here, faith in science, just means researchers are cheaper. 20% less upkeep on researchers. I love it. We're just going to say yes and fantastic. And what is this ship doing? No orders. Okay. So, that's because they're done with the anomaly. So I'm going to then tell them to go over here and check out that anomaly there. So I have 2 science vessels that are surveying systems, and I have 2 science vessels that are looking at either anomalies or archaeological sites. And, okay, another atmospheric anomaly, leave it be. I actually like this right now. I'm going to slow it down to normal while I talk. A new ruler has been elected. It's Dolores again, which is great. So Dolores stays there. We got a trait for one of our leaders as they leveled up. I'm doing this right now, which is looking into anomalies and archaeological sites internally within our system, because I want to start reaping the rewards of them. However, you can do this at whatever pace you want. I feel like we've mapped a pretty reasonable amount of systems immediately close to us to give us enough information to build, and now I kind of want to scale back just a little bit on exploration so that I can focus on getting some of these anomalies and other things to see if they would give us a surge. However, I might, after this anomaly, push this other science ship up here to start exploring in this kind of like what I'm going to call north, for lack of a better directional term within the galaxy, up in this direction. Okay, and it's election, anomaly, no problem. I'm going to speed it up.
Colonization in progress.
Okay, great. So the colony ship that we launched is on its way. Not there, though. I was like, wait a minute. No. We're on its way to Alpha Centauri. That startled me for a moment. I was like, no, we shouldn't do this. Okay. Yeah. Now, this ship is done. And we almost have enough influence to spread. So what I'm going to do is just... I'm going to send this construction ship over here just to wait. And once we get enough influence, then we're going to build another starbase right there. Okay, great. Crackdown. While it cannot be denied that the intoxicating effects of Sirius Prime's atmosphere are enjoyable and even helpful in some cases, there's pressure from the more conservative parts of the United Nations of Earth to crack down on the possibly addictive gases. So you can shut it down, or you can leave it as is. If you leave it as is, we lose a lot of unity, and there is more potential danger that can happen with stuff like this, where people grow distant from your home planet, or rebel, or whatever, revolt or whatever, or they start not doing work as well because they're addicted to drugs. So these are all things that could happen negatively. So we're going to shut this down and start a project on doing that. I'm going to pause it. We also we made some progress on this archaeological site. So it says, as we expected, the interior of this solar sailor is appropriately archaic. The bridge resembles the deck of an old planet-bound sailing ship designed to sail the watery seas. The deck plating appears to be metal, but most surfaces are covered with carved wood, a contrast to the glass-like substance on viewports and data screens. Powering up the ship's computers, we've found a data file with an old-fashioned seafarer's song. According to our archaeologists, this melody was once known as a sea shanty or space shanty. We are attempting to transcribe the lyrics. So awesome. So you can keep going with this, and you can see here that this particular researcher is going after it, this scientist. It's very easy, and here's our breakthrough chance of, getting through this quicker. But we have no clues at the moment, but, we can roll really well on this breakthrough and get some clues, perhaps. And I'm going to keep on with that. I want to find out what that is, but remember that science ship that I was talking about? They're doing the right thing. They are investigating Sirius 5. Yeah, that's fine. You should be doing that. And the Hubble is working on that. So, the project in the situation log that we opened up, which is removing this, costs 1,500 research and would take 53 months to complete, and it would put on hold what you are currently researching. And this is actually important for all research. I'm pretty sure, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure anytime you switch a research project, you can come back to it and your progress is kind of saved, so that you, like, if it was, let's say it was 3,000 research units and you did 2,000 of it, when you came back it would just have 1,000 left and it would remember where you were. So you could kind of like focus on some important project like this. I think it works like that, and it works like that in this case. But I think it works on that in all cases if you have the opportunity to switch. So I actually want this to happen, so I switched my research to it, and we'll go back to our engineering research later. Yep. Okay, so as I'm noticing... Oh, okay, good. We get to talk about factions. So we had a faction founded. A new faction's recently been gaining traction in the internal political landscape of the United Nations of Earth. They call themselves True Democracy Watch. Their members work for equality and justice for all denizens of our empire. A disgruntled faction will be a source of trouble, but one that approves of the government actions could prove useful, okay? Sometimes you'll have more than one of these factions get founded at once, but this is what we want to see with this. So we're going to go to the government tab. Oops. And in the middle are the factions tab. We didn't look at this before because there was nothing in here. So when you might get one faction, you might get 2, 3 more factions. And what these represent are some group of people that have gathered together with a political agenda. And what you want to do is make them happy so that they don't cause problems and lead a revolt against your leadership. So currently this is not a problem. They love it. They have 100% approval. So because of that, we just get a 10% happiness boost, which is awesome. What you want to look at are the size of this group. So it's 25 pops in our empire of 36 are in this group. So this is a huge number of our population. You want to see what the support is for this faction. It's 100%. Support represents the political strength of this faction. So this has a huge political strength. And their ethics are egalitarian. So this is important because sometimes they might want a leader that shares their ethics to be on the council, for example. And they might demand that. And then this is what you want to pay attention to, which are their issues. So the effects of having their support is 21.62 rounded up to 22 unity, which is awesome. So this is what happens when you can make a faction happy and gain their approval, is you get happiness boost, you get unity. It's great. So these issues right here, these little badges, green means good, red means bad, yellow means in the middle, and you can see right here on the left panel where you are with these issues and what they want and how you can make them happy. So currently they have this, they want a benevolent subjugation policy. So they want this to happen, and we can do this for them. So we can go to policy and edicts and say, okay, they want benevolent subjugation. And we go to policies and edicts, and we look for the policy and edict that corresponds to, which is our, let me see. Here it is. So in subjugation war terms means like if we get into war and if terms of their surrender or whatever are subjugation of their worlds, we have a policy that we set that determines how we run those, how we operate our subjugation. And it could be we turn their world or their planet or whatever into a vassalage, and currently it's default to balanced. But what the political group wants is benevolent vassalage. So if we give this to them, they will be really, really happy. And we can do this. But remember, if you change a policy, you have to wait 10 years to change it again. So you got to be really careful with this. But I'm going to do it just because why not? I'm not in a position to subjugate anyone right now anyway, and if I did, I would want to be benevolent, because look, it says our subjects are as much a part of us as we are of them. Their success is our victory, and we shall move forward as one. I like that ideologically, and so does the faction that we want to please. So we can say yes. However, I will tell you, if you mouse over this benevolent subjugation policy, it says it affects faction approval by 0%. So even though it's red, and even though it looks like they have an issue with it, they don't really have a huge issue with it. So currently, I'm actually going to not do anything until this becomes a problem, because I might get another faction that wants a different stance, like maybe they want the balanced stance, and then now I've switched and they care more about that than True Democracy Watch does. So I'm just going to leave this as is, because we meet all of their other requirements on issues. They love it. They're having a great time, so we're not going to mess with it. But that's how to mess with factions, or how to try to make them happy if you care. If it's a small group of people and they have like wildly outlandish ideas that go against your core principles, then don't worry about them. But if it's a huge group like that, you do want to kind of try to change your policies to meet their demands, if it aligns with your strategy, if you want to do that. And in our case, it already did. So, we've discovered an abandoned solar sail ship in orbit around Sirius 5. Okay, so we already found this as part of the archaeological side, but seeing this one gives us just 324 engineering research, which is going to help us with our little project to remove the hallucinogens from the atmosphere on Sirius Prime, so that's great.
Anomaly found.
We found an anomaly. We're going to leave it. And this ship right here has no orders. So right away, what I'm going to do with this science ship is I'm going to automate it. And I'm going to tell you to... actually, you know what? I'm going to push this ship up here and survey. There. Tremendous. So you can see the progress on Alpha Centauri Prime. They're rolling. And I'm just going to pause it, because remember, they don't give you a warning on the planets. So Sirius Prime finished its city district. And now it's time to just take a look. We can build stuff for people to work, because we only have 2 available jobs, so that's reasonable. And I'm just going to kick it into high gear with industrial districts, and I'm going to say, build one. I'm going to go back to Earth. This is Alpha Centauri Prime, but I'm going to go back to Earth over here. And I'm going to see what's going on. So, we did... Did we finish? Did I not build that final city district? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I canceled the build. I think I opened this and mistook this over here for being in the queue, and I forgot to actually confirm the build. So that's a good warning. Make sure it comes into this build queue over here, and it's not just, you know, off in the margin. Like if you click over here, this does not mean it's been built. It needs to be down here. Okay, so I forgot to actually confirm the city district. Okay, Heyo. Not an egregious mistake, but it's just these little things that you want to, because then, you know, you're behind. It's going to take some time to do that. All right. So let's see. Another faction has been founded. I told you. Xeno Awareness Association. So we got a new group that we got to think about. All right. So they want, as you could tell by their name, they want friendly relationships with aliens. So their policies are going to be like, be nice to everybody that you meet. Oh my God. We found a dimensional portal. Okay. So we found a doorway, which is a location on Sirius Prime, which is intriguing, but it's a dimensional portal. So we want to definitely investigate this. There are things that go on in this game with like wormholes and other such where like you can move across the galaxy perhaps. And all of these you want to investigate to make sure that nobody can just teleport into your area through the portal and, you know, attack you. I don't think that's going to be the case with this one, but you never know, and you always want to just be, you know, on your guard. So more information is necessary, and you could see in the situation log, we have a new research project, which is to probe the dimensional portal. I'm actually going to queue it up right now because that scares me. And we finished building a mining station from our automated guy. Wonderful. Let's go into the government screen and check out this new faction. So they actually have, you could see the support has divided. So True Democracy Watch had all the clout. Now there's a new group. It has less people in it, but it represents our entire population. So everybody of our 36 pops are either in True Democracy Watch, political faction, or the Xeno Awareness Association. Now, our approval with Xeno Awareness is not as good because they don't like our policies. Now, they are giving us unity, but we want more. And they're giving us some happiness, 5%, but we'd love that 10%. So, what can we do to make them happy? They want new contact, which we don't have that yet. We have to find somebody to get new contact. Now, they also want proactive first contact protocols, and they want benevolent subjugation policy as well. And they want a ruler in the empire that has their ethic. But that's the ruler, so that's challenging. Let's do the benevolent subjugation policy because both of them want that. So I'm just going to switch right here to benevolent vassalage, and I'm going to say yes. And I'm then going to go down here and go back to our factions, and I'm going to unpause it. And here we go. So they actually like this. It's taking it a second to, like, you could see it, our approval went up 10%. It's still red. It's taking it a second to switch from red to green, but you see they went from 64 to 74 because they're like, yes, you did it. Now, they also want, and it gave us more unity per month because of that, so awesome. They also want proactive first contact, so we'd have to go here. We're going to close this up, and we're going to go to first contact protocol. I started this as cautious, but what they want is for us to be proactive, and I'm okay with that. Let's just be cool with it. You don't have to do this. You don't have to please them. 74% is fine. They're not going to revolt. But let's just roll it. Let's do it. Proactive. Now, you can see in our factions, they're up to 85%. And by bumping us up to 85%, we now get 10% extra happiness instead of 5 and 8 unity. So we are rolling. Science ship here is done. Great. Can you give me this one? This system is insane. We want to get it as our choke point if possible because it has 11 minerals, 6 energy credits, trade value. It's great. Okay, perfect. Well, we've expanded. We are building up Earth and Sirius Prime. We're working on colonizing Alpha Centauri. We have had some political factions that have been founded here, and we are, in good with both of them. So the stability in our system and the happiness of everyone is pretty much in check. We've started some research projects. We've done an archaeological dig. We're looking into some anomalies. and we're rocking and rolling. Everyone, I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. We're going to keep going and growing our empire and just talking about all of the different game elements as they emerge so that you can understand and enjoy Stellaris on your own. Thanks again for watching. Take care.